Welcome back to the Beacon Film Podcast. I, as ever, am Liam Newberry, and instead of Jay Simonian and Charity Alfaya joining me today, I have Mark Campos, who introduced me to the movie. We're not sure if it's I Petco 2 or 1 Petco 2, because the Roman numeral is kind of a strange... It's a strange use of the Roman numeral, but I'll let Mark introduce himself.
My name's Mark Campos. I'm an artist at Beacon, visual artist.
So how'd you come across this movie?
I was literally just like on YouTube and like scanning through the internet trying to find things that like decode what's going on in society and like the world we live in today in like a creative, unique way.
It's a noble pursuit.
Yeah, and this dude nailed it.
Yeah,
he did pretty good. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it was a strange movie,
dude. It's trippy too. The animation that's.
It was all 3D, like very bold animation. It used
colors.
Used bright colors and it contrasted. I encourage everybody listening to watch it because you have to see this for yourself.
Yeah.
So before we really get into it, we should probably talk about it a little. It came out in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
It was a passion project by a guy named Louis Lefebvre, and besides a small visual effects team and a music crew, he worked pretty much by himself on it. You said it took him 3 years.
It took a while. It's all handmade.
Because when I looked it up, it said he started work on it in late 2008, came out in 2012, so about that time span.
Yeah, 3 to 4 years of
so
just straight working.
Yeah, if it's something as complex as that, and it that can't be easy.
And just that, I think it's 7 minutes the film.
Yep.
And just that 7 minutes, it holds knowledge from like the past 10 years all put into one. So it's really.
Yeah. It starts with.
In fact, it's more than 10 years, actually. It goes back from, like, when 9/11 occurred. There was...
It starts with Bush, who was, of course, was the acting president at the time of the 9/11 tragedy. So it starts with a puppeteer's hand, right?
Yes, this evil, this demon, devil-like hand holding this puppet, like... Yeah.
Yeah, and it's holding a puppet.
And Bush is the puppet.
Yep, and he's wearing a dunce cap, which I thought was kind of, a little not forced exactly, but definitely out there. Like, it's very obvious what they're trying to say with this, with that particular point. And then he turns into Obama, which is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
And then they zoom out and they have this whole segment where he says, what is he saying? Shame on you.
Yeah.
And it's
fool me, can't get fooled again.
Yeah. And then it pulls out.
It's like part of one of his speeches, I think.
Probably. And then it pulls out, and there's the two towers collapsing. Yeah. And it goes on from there. And I think that part of the film is probably what stuck out to me the most, just because it's the symbolism that's pretty most apparent. Yeah. And throughout the film, and I think you see this right after this bit. You see a boy with an empty head, and there's a TV with wires that laid into his head, and I think that's obviously a message about how media controls people.
Yes, honestly. Especially nowadays, how everyone's on their phone. Like, there's probably the whole class behind me is on their phone. To be honest, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, you can find proper knowledge on your phone. Like, it holds everything, but like you can definitely be like essentially like brainwashed and kind of like.
And that's the kind of social issue you hear a lot about today. Buzzwords like the media controlling people and that sort of thing. And I think that he did it without it being too like preachy. You know what I mean? I think the movie pulled off a really good job of discussing social issues that it wanted to talk about without seeming like preachy or forced.
For sure.
Question about the title.
I'm honestly I don't know if like the goat part resembles something like...
Yeah, so there's a goat in a box.
Yeah.
Sticks its head out. Title appears.
Yep. The title.
And then it like...
The goat's head starts to like do a circular motion.
It's really
the eyes
weird.
Pop out and go back in.
Yeah, that was strange. What do you... Because you're the one who watched this. I mean, I just saw it. What do you think that... What do you think that reflects?
I don't know if like the goat part resembles like evil. Is it the goat that...
The goat to me looked sinister, so I can definitely see where you're coming from when you say that it represents evil of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
It was
powerful.
It was. But going back to where we were earlier in the film, after we see the two towers collapsing and all that, and it pulls out, and then you see a blood red moon and a man in a turban.
Yes,
and and I'm not sure if that's a reflection on the Islamic State and their you know what they were. Yeah, I think it was
Osama bin Laden. I think it honestly, it definitely was, because right before that scene, you see the Twin Towers collapse.
Yeah, I think that we were talking in film class the other day about how if you take an image and then you take another image that's in some way connected with that, the audience will make the connection.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what the filmmaker was doing here. It was a clever use of that film technique.
I wonder if that red moon resembled something. Is that on
There's
there?
There's an old saying about a blood red moon. A sailor's saying, because sailors are very superstitious people.
It's a sailor?
Yeah.
Dude, do you remember where this was like? It was on the ocean.
Yeah, it was on a boat, yeah. Which is why I think the whole sailor thing is important.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find any reference to a blood red moon. While I'm doing that,
one thing I can talk about is when they were on the water, you could tell the water was black, and I think that resembled like the pollution that we are.
Yeah, I saw that too. Because you saw the
oil drip from
from
the iceberg or something. Mm-hmm. That was interesting. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and of course that brings in the whole issue of It felt like this movie was taking every like major political and social hot topic that's been around and just condensing
that had an impact on this world. It definitely
and that's where we first see the Jesus figure, right? Is soon after that. Okay, so by the way, about the blood moon, I know this is kind of a disjointed, and I'm jumping around here from part of the, but this movie really deserves it.
If you've seen this film, you would.
The Blood Moon Prophecy is a series of apocalyptic beliefs promoted by Christian ministers. So a blood moon is a coming sign of the apocalypse.
Okay, and maybe that's why he had all those people behind him, all his followers.
Yeah, and I think that really, it's just such a weird.
You know what was so crazy? One part of it is when that Jesus figure was surrounded by all those people in suits.
Yeah,
and he shot up in the sky and like sent a powerful ray down and demolished all the people in the suits.
And they just blew away like
dust. Literally turned into dust.
It was. I think what that's trying to say, and we were just talking in English recently about how, in the Victorian era, industrialism sort of eroded away religion and took romantic beliefs and sort of brushed them to the side, and it sort of caused this collapse in romantic belief and religious structure. So in industrialization, of course, is what led to the rise of capitalism, and a lot of people believe that to be a root for a lot of problems in the world today. I myself am deferred to that, particular ideology, but I think that that a lot of people find that to be very important, and so I think that when that happened, that was sort of a response to, in the way of modernist poetry, a response to the Victorian era, and how it sort of led and how it took that and promoted it above religion. So it sort of reversed that. I thought that was really neat. Yeah. This is. I think
Crazy.
if we try and go any deeper, we might. It'll get
because we literally just watched it. You need to watch. I feel like you need to watch every day for and you don't have to watch it multiple times a day. But if you watch it every day for a week, I think your mind will then start to open and find out what it. You can decode it at first, but there's so much more to be seen.
Even if you try to get in, even if you try to analyze every second of this piece,
it's impossible.
There will be something. So I think you should just at least watch it once, just to see it, because this is something you have to see.
Yeah.
Who made it? Heliofant. Is
Heliofant.
Yeah. HELIOFANT or ONT?
Yeah. FONT actually.
ONT. Okay. So Helio font, and that it's something else. So I think that'll about do it for today for us. This is a shorter episode, but it was a short movie. It was a 7 minutes long. So I think everyone should see that
for sure,
just to experience it. This has been Liam Newberry and Mark Campos.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.